Hello! Welcome to another episode of Northwest Ohio Unknown Metal Review. All of these 3 releases are for the week of April 10th, 2022. Starting off today, we have Voidhammer with their self-titled EP. This album has a lot of different variations in how the music progresses. There will be a track that's slower, more doom metal, and then there will be a track after that that's thrashier. All of the tracks are relatively lengthy. You don't get to experience it very often, but there is a push and pull to the whole project. Everything feels really varied because of the tempos. I really like the thrashier sections in specific because some of the vocals remind me of Slayer with Tom Araya. I also really like the production values. It's very old school. The breakdowns really reminded me of Lamb of God, which I don't think that's what they were going for. Overall, the music is pretty solid and the performances are fine.
Yeah, this album is, nothing innovative or new, but it's very solid overall. Just I did enjoy the thrashier bits as well in the first half of the album, but it felt like they focused more on the doom metal aspects on the second half, and it gave it a weird sense of pacing. But overall, I liked it.
Next up, we're going to talk about the band Pinch Black. Not Pitch Black, Pinch Black, and their EP Insanity. This is a really modern tech death kind of vibe. From the riffs to the vocals, the drums, the production, everything was just very modern. A lot of the vocals are kind of ripped straight from other bands. The vocalist specifically reminded me of Trevor Stiernad from Black Dahlia Murder, and he also seemed to be taking a lot from Travis Ryan of Cow Decapitation with the really nasally higher screams that are really guttural. This band, one of their biggest weaknesses is the fact that they're just constantly riding on their influences. They're not really thinking too much for themselves and creating their own style. They're relying a lot on what they've learned about their favorite bands. The other weakness is that the technical aspects are not really highlighted as much as they should be for the genre. There are a lot of arpeggiated sweep-picking riffs and pinch harmonic squeals and all the riffing styles that you normally hear in a tech death album. The riffs don't really work together. The composition's really broken up, and it feels like each part is kind of its own thing, and it's not a coherent final product.
No further comments. This album has been finely detailed.
I guess the last EP we're going to talk about is a project called Electric Tomb. The EP is called Defenders. It's one of many EPs released recently. The most notable thing I would say about this EP immediately is just how completely unashamed it is, how cheesy and weird it is. Even though I just said weird, it's also very typical and generic. It's just relying a lot on classic heavy metal vibes from the 70s and 80s. Production is extremely noisy and trebly. I could barely hear the bass while listening to this album. The drums are really simple. The riffs are usually coherent and sound fine, but nothing really catches the ear. It reminded me of Voidhammer also in the sense that it's just all a bunch of minor power chords, and it's not organized in any really unique way. It kind of just falls into the category of every other metal album you've ever heard in your life, which can be fine depending on who you are. But for me, I kind of like when people are trying to go with their own thing. Also, the vocals in this album are really funny. It reminds me of Dave Mustaine, Tom Warrior, and the great Danny DeVito as Frank Reynolds in Always Sunny. I don't know how that's possible, but it is. It's like when Danny DeVito in Always Sunny says, "I'm the trash man." 3, 2, 1.
Magic Treehouse Part 2. So I'd say Project seems like a guy who's just having a fun time and isn't really concerned with how the resulting product is or any of the details. He just wants to get his love or his passion for music out there, and it ends up making a bit of a quantity over quality situation, unfortunately, but
I feel like he's just riding the waves of life and having a good time and not really thinking about anything else. That can be a really good thing, honestly.
Yeah, I do respect him for that, but this EP made me want to take a nap in the Electric Tomb.
Me too. Amazing. Well, unfortunately, we were not very impressed with this week's releases that we randomly selected as usual. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate the support so far. Make sure to subscribe. We are just doing this to talk about unknown artists and put them in the light for a bit.
God bless.
Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next week.
Magic Treehouse.